Hey Omnidogs and Omnikittens, this is Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, chiming in here with a overview of an omnibus, and we've got the Silver Age Doom Patrol omnibus here. Take a look at this beefy boy, Doom Patrol the Silver Age omnibus. It is over 1,000 pages of Silver Age wackiness, and let's take a look at it. The inside has the flap, the descriptive flap, which says the Doom Patrol, Elastigirl, Negative Man, Robot Man, and the Chief are a group of misfit heroes bent on saving the world one strange case at a time. The Doom Patrol was certainly one of the more unusual and most fondly remembered DC titles from the 60s. The comic focused on the personalities of the characters themselves by showcasing expressive, humane artwork and even gave us one of the most beloved Teen Titans, Beast Boy. In this omnibus, fans will witness the fantastic group's entire journey from their strange inception to their spectacular and unusual demise. That's right, Beast Boy was first introduced. We'll take a look at that as we go along. First, the first major disappointment, just a black cover here when you take off the dust cover. Nothing exciting there. That's a bit of a disappointment. That's really the only disappointment in this book, because it really is a fantastic collection on very nice glossy paper. There's Beast Boy right there. It is a very nice collection on glossy paper. Here we have the table of contents. It was created, the group was created by Arnold Drake, who's also responsible for Dead Man. So he's responsible for two of the more unusual and interesting character creations in Doom Patrol and Dead Man back in the 60s. This table of contents is very thorough and lists Bruno Premiani as the main artist. I believe they worked together for 5 straight years from 63 to 68. With a little help from Bob Haney on the writing in some places. And there were some other artists too, but mostly Bruno is the one that gets the credit. And in this foreword, Arnold Drake has a lot of interesting things to say about the creation. I think the most interesting thing is when it got canceled, DC canceled it because sales dropped to 250,000 copies of the book. Yeah, that was when they canceled a book. I think nowadays you'd be lucky to get a book to sell 250,000 copies. I don't know what a good sell rate is for a book these days. I would think 20,000 is probably pretty good. 25,000, 50,000, somewhere in there. And this book was selling 250,000 and they decided to cancel it. So we have nice reproduction of the first cover here, My Greatest Adventure number 80. And we have the introduction of the characters. Elastigirl's first, Negative Man second, and then Robot Man. Not the most inventive name, but there is Robot Man and there's the Chief. And they get down to business. And these, it may sound wacky, but these characters and their nemesaries, their adversaries, like General Immortus, were actually fairly layered and nuanced. You really got to know them throughout the whole run. And this book is really, I give credit to DC for printing this book, because it's got, it shows exactly why Doom Patrol was popular. And you can also see why Grant Morrison decided to take Doom Patrol and sort of deconstruct it and reconstruct it in his own vision, because it had a lot of potential to be messed with and made even more interesting. But the Doom Patrol started in My Greatest Adventure, and it was eventually popular enough where they made it into just the Doom Patrol. They continued the numbering, but it became the Doom Patrol book, I think around issue 86 or 89, somewhere in there. We'll know for sure as we page through this book. But they always dealt with all kinds of fantastic characters, and you get to know the characters pretty darn well. throughout the whole 5 years of the run. And you really, you kind of get to really like them, and you get to know them, and eventually, when we get to the end, you'll see that they kill him. They kill him off because Arnold Drake decided if this was going to be the end, well, we're gonna end the comic and see what readers think. And it was kind of groundbreaking for them to finish off. Sorry if I spoiled it for anybody, but it's kind of groundbreaking for them to finish off a team like that. But that's the way Arnold Drake wanted to go out, with a bang. And the book is constructed really well. I think if we can jump forward a little bit, this looks like it might be a good cover. Oh yeah, this is a good cover because we see a lot of, I believe this is Doom Patrol 90, when we get the Brotherhood of Evil, which is Monsieur Mala, the Brain, and Madame Rouge, the monkey, and the brain in a jar, and Madame Rouge right here. But we can also look at the construction of the book, and here's where Beast Boy gets introduced. He gets to be, at first he's a bit of an adversary, and then he ends up joining the Doom Patrol. And we can see that for such a big book, the gutter loss is not bad. It is not bad at all for over 1,000 pages. We can take a quick look at the keyhole here. It's very nice. And continues. There's even the Brave and Bold is thrown in here. The Flash and the Doom Patrol. That was a good issue. I remember that issue when I was a kid. That's right. I'm old. But that's included in this. Actually, I think I might read this Brave and Bold bit right after I do this video. So this is what, there's not much in the way of extras, but here's where, this is a great issue. This is where Elastigirl gets married, sort of. I now pronounce you D-E-A-D. Elastigirl sort of marries in this issue. And she eventually does get married. There's not much in the way of extras in this book, but it's all extremely interesting and pretty lovingly preserved. Nice to see it on big pages like this. And it goes all the way up, of course, till the very end, when they end up killing the Doom Patrol. Right here. Hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But here's where they actually sacrifice themselves. And boom. They break the fourth wall here at the very end. Saying, "Then it is true, they are dead. The Doom Patrol will never fight again. And only you out there, the reader, could do it. They want to know if you want to bring the Doom Patrol back. And apparently, you did not. Because they were left dead." And then we have the end here with the biographies. And not a whole heck of a lot of extras. As a matter of fact, no extras. But if you want a great Silver Age book that genuinely captures the Silver Age, this is the one you want to get. Because, as I said, I give credit to DC for collecting these, because this was one of the more unusual and interesting books out there. And for them to actually collect this thing, I think they did a really good job of it. So there's my overview for this book. I showed you some artwork, gave you my opinions, and hopefully I convinced you to either buy it or not based on my review and overview. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'll answer any questions you have. And there it is. There's my first overview, and hope you enjoyed it.